Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're going deep on Pam Bondi.
Oh yeah, she's a fascinating figure.
Definitely someone who's been a major force in American law and politics for quite a while now.
That's for sure. And you know what's interesting about her? Her career kind of like unfolds alongside all these like huge shifts we've seen in American society.
Oh, totally. Especially in the legal and political landscapes, I mean.
Yeah, like think about it. We're talking healthcare reform.
The rise of social media.
Exactly. How that's impacting like public discourse even.
So much has changed just in the past couple of decades.
Right.
And she's been right there in the thick of it.
She has.
So our goal today is to give you, the listener, a well-rounded understanding of Pam Bondi.
Absolutely.
Her journey, her successes, her controversies.
Got the whole picture.
And to help us do that, we've got a whole bunch of sources to draw on today.
Oh yeah, a range of perspectives for sure.
Got to get that balanced view right.
Definitely.
So let's start at the beginning. Pam Bondi was born in Tampa, Florida.
Oh, 1965. So
Yeah, a true Florida native.
through and through.
She got her undergrad at the University of Florida and later her law degree from Stetson University College of Law.
Oh wow, so all those years spent in Florida's like academic institutions.
Yeah, I wonder if those early years in Florida kind of shaped her approach to law and politics.
It's got to have had some influence, right? I mean, think about it.
Totally makes you think.
She starts out as a prosecutor in the Hillsborough County State Attorney's Office.
And it's not just like minor offenses either.
No, not at all. She's involved in like a whole range of cases.
Really? Like what kind?
Everything from like domestic violence to capital offenses.
Whoa, that's
Yeah.
a lot of responsibility, especially right out of law school.
Yeah, talk about trial by fire.
No kidding. I bet those early experiences really like honed her legal skills.
Yeah, and gave her a deep understanding of like how the legal system in Florida works.
Right.
Which, I mean, that experience probably proved invaluable when she became Florida's 37th Attorney General in 2010.
Oh yeah, that was a big deal.
Huge. And she was the first woman to hold that position, too.
Wow. So she was already breaking barriers.
And making waves in Florida politics.
And her time as Attorney General, she served 2 terms, right?
Of 2 terms.
And during those years, it seems like it was marked by some significant accomplishments, but also some pretty heated controversies.
Yeah, there were definitely both sides to that coin.
So let's start with the accomplishments. One area where she really made her mark, it seems, was in the fight against human trafficking.
Absolutely. She was a huge champion for that cause.
She championed legislation, provided support for survivors.
Pushed to educate the public and law enforcement about this issue.
Which is often hidden, you know?
Exactly. It's a crime that a lot of people don't even realize is happening.
It seems like she was really dedicated to raising awareness about it.
She was.
And it's interesting how this was all happening while this issue was gaining national attention.
Yeah, it was becoming a bigger and bigger focus.
Her work in Florida almost like helped pave the way for stricter laws and support for victims across the country.
Yeah, in a way, she was kind of ahead of the curve on that.
Now, on the other hand, her time as Attorney General wasn't without controversy.
Oh, definitely not.
One of the most prominent controversies, I think, involved her decision not to pursue fraud charges against Trump University.
Oh, yeah, back in 2013.
That one really blew up in the media.
It did, and it became this huge symbol of all the partisan divisions that were bubbling up at the time.
Yeah, it really put her in the spotlight, didn't it?
Oh, it did, for sure, and it really fueled criticism from those who were already opposed to her.
Right.
And probably solidified the support from those who were already on her side.
Like a rallying point, almost.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, another controversy that I was kind of surprised to learn about was her involvement in the ACA lawsuit.
Oh, the Affordable Care Act.
Yeah.
That was a landmark piece of legislation for sure.
It was, and it seems like Bondi was right in the thick of the legal and political battle surrounding it.
Absolutely. She saw it as an example of government overreach.
And under her leadership, Florida joined a multi-state lawsuit challenging the individual mandate.
Yeah, that was a key provision of the act.
And this lawsuit, it went all the way to the Supreme Court, right?
All day.
And while the ACA wasn't overturned entirely, the lawsuit did end up weakening the individual mandate.
It did.
Which had a huge impact on millions of Americans.
No doubt.
It really shows how her actions weren't just like symbolic.
Right.
They had real-world consequences.
Definitely something to think about.
So you have this massive piece of legislation that's completely reshaping the healthcare system.
Yeah.
And she's right in the middle of this legal and political battle.
It was a really intense time.
It really highlights how divided the country was
And still is.
on the role of government in healthcare.
Absolutely.
Now, going back to that Trump University controversy,
Okay.
critics were pointing to this $25,000 donation from a Trump-affiliated foundation to a political action committee that was supporting Bondi. They saw it as evidence of a conflict of interest.
Yeah, that was a big part of the argument against her.
Now, Bondi denied any wrongdoing,
Of course.
but the media scrutiny was intense.
Oh, yeah, it was everywhere.
And this was all happening at a time when partisan divisions were already growing in the country.
Right.
So the Trump University case, it kind of became this lightning rod.
It really did.
Now, another issue that fueled a lot of debate was Bondi's stance against same-sex marriage.
Uh-huh.
She publicly argued in favor of upholding Florida's ban on same-sex marriage.
And at the time, that aligned with a lot of conservative viewpoints.
It did, but as public opinions started to shift, her stance was seen by many as increasingly out of step with, like, the changing social landscape.
Yeah, it's interesting how her views on that kind of played out over time.
Right.
It shows how complex her career really was.
Yeah. On one hand, she's advocating for positions that are aligning with a segment of the population.
Right.
But on the other hand, those same positions are being challenged by evolving social norms and values.
Exactly. It's a real push and pull.
And I think all of that experience battling the ACA, handling controversies like the Trump University case, it really set the stage for her to step onto the national stage.
Oh, absolutely. That's where we see her next.
Right into the national spotlight.
And that's a whole other chapter.
Yeah.
It's kind of wild how, like, after all that, after building her career in Florida, she just steps onto the national stage.
Right. Like, she goes from being Florida's attorney general to this
national figure.
Yeah, exactly.
And, you know, it all starts with her becoming a really vocal supporter of Donald Trump.
Oh, yeah. And then joining his legal defense team during his first impeachment trial.
That was a huge moment.
It was. And it was interesting to see how her communication skills, like her ability to explain all this complex legal stuff in a way that, like, regular people could understand.
Yeah.
It really came to the forefront during that
Totally.
period.
She was able to connect with, like, a whole segment of the population that was looking for that kind of perspective.
And she became a regular on conservative media outlets.
Oh, for sure.
Which, you know, that was all happening alongside the surge in conservative media.
Yeah, there were like all these new outlets and personalities popping up.
And Bondi was able to really tap into that and, like, solidify her position as a leading voice in the Republican Party.
It was a perfect storm, kind of.
Now, while all that's going on, she's also still advocating for causes she cares about.
Oh, yeah. She never stopped doing that.
Like human trafficking and the opioid crisis.
Two really critical issues.
Huge problems facing communities all across the country.
And it's important to note, she didn't just, like, give speeches or make appearances.
No, she was really trying to connect public awareness to policy changes.
You wanted to see action.
Exactly. She wasn't just talking about these issues. She was trying to make a difference.
And that's commendable, I think.
It is, but some people argue that all the controversy in her past, like the Trump University stuff, it kind of overshadows the good work she did.
It's a valid point, for sure.
It makes you wonder how all those contrasting elements play into her legacy.
This is a tough question.
It really is. So we've got this woman who built a career as a tough prosecutor, became Florida's first female attorney general, faced tons of controversy,
fought for causes she believed in,
and then stepped onto the national stage and became a major voice in the Republican Party.
It's been quite a journey.
It really has.
And I think it raises some really interesting questions about, like, how we evaluate public figures in general.
Totally. Do we just focus on their policies?
Or do we consider their character, their motivations, the actual impact they've had on people's lives?
It's a question that goes way beyond Pam Bondi.
Absolutely. It applies to anyone who's in the public eye.
And there's no easy answer.
Nope. It requires us to think critically, to weigh different perspectives, to recognize that people are complex.
And that there's rarely a simple good or bad. It's about recognizing nuance, understanding the context, and having these thoughtful conversations. And I think that's what we've tried to do with this deep dive into Pam Bondi's world.
We've given you, the listener, the information and the context.
To form your own conclusions.
Right. And at the end of the day, that's all we can really do.
So as we wrap up this part of our deep dive, we want to leave you with this question. How do we reconcile the positive contributions of public figures with the more controversial parts of their careers?
How do we make sense of their legacies when they're so full of contradictions?
These are questions worth thinking about.
Not just for Pam Bondi.
But for all of us as we try to understand the world around us.
And the people who shape it.
So we're back, and we've been really getting into this whole story of Pam Bondi.
It's such a fascinating case study, you know?
It is. This journey that's taken us from, like, the Florida courts all the way to national politics and even the Supreme Court.
Yeah. And you know what strikes me? It's just full of these, like, contradictions.
Oh,
You've got this staunch conservative who's out there championing what some would call, like, progressive causes.
Like fighting human trafficking.
Exactly.
Huh.
And then you've got this trailblazer for women in law and politics who's facing all this criticism for her views on same-sex marriage.
it really makes you think.
It does.
And it's all happening during this time of massive change in America.
Oh, yeah, like huge societal shifts.
The rise of social media, the growing polarization of politics.
And this increasing awareness of issues like human trafficking and the opioid epidemic.
It's like everything's changing at once.
Right, and Bondi, whether she meant to or not, kind of becomes a symbol of all that change.
Like her story is almost a reflection of what's happening in the country as a whole.
I think that's a really insightful way to look at it.
It's interesting how those big societal changes kind of play out in the lives of individual people.
Yeah, especially those in the public eye.
Like Bondi's story, it almost becomes this case study in how personal beliefs and political realities kind of clash.
They intersect for sure, and sometimes they collide head on.
And that brings us back to this question of, like, what is her legacy? How will she be remembered?
And it's a tough question to answer.
It is, because there's no easy answer.
Right, it forces us to ask, how do we even judge public figures?
Yeah, like, what are the criteria?
Do we only look at their policies? Or do we consider their character, their motivations, the actual impact they've had on people?
That's a question that goes way beyond just Pam Bondi.
It applies to any leader, any public figure.
Yeah, and there's no simple answer.
Not at all.
It requires us to think critically, weigh different perspectives, recognize that people are complex.
And that there's rarely a clear-cut good or bad.
Exactly. It's all about nuance.
Nuance and context.
And having these open and honest conversations.
Exactly. And I think that's what we've tried to do here today.
To provide you, the listener, with the information and the context to draw your own conclusions.
That's the goal.
So as we wrap up this deep dive on Pam Bondi, we want to leave you with this question. How do we reconcile the good that public figures do with the more controversial aspects of their careers?
How do we grapple with the complexities of their legacies?
It's something to think about.
Not just for Pam Bondi's story.
But for anyone who steps into the public arena.
It's a challenge we all face as we try to make sense of the world around us.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, and keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep seeking a deeper understanding of the people and the forces that shape our world.
We'll see you next time.
Today is your lucky day. Today is the day that our $3 website works for you, paying you directly to your PayPal daily. Imagine $3 ongoing continuous payments to your PayPal account. Imagine falling asleep and waking up to $300 in your PayPal account. How would this make you feel? How could this help you? What bills could you pay? What kind of fun could you have? What does that retirement look like now? All for a one-time payment of $3. This website is DFY done for you, fully built and completely hosted, and never stops collecting payments for you. You have spent $3 on coffee on a regular, but that coffee won't help you create multiple streams of income. Click the link below.